Father of a Green Bay man charged in the death of a 2-year-old is now charged himself. 48-year-old David Vanderleest appeared in Brown County Court today, charged with harboring and aiding a felon and resisting or obstructing an officer. His son, 21-year-old James Vanderleest, was officially charged Wednesday with first-degree reckless homicide in the death of 2-year-old Leo Escalante. The criminal complaint against James indicates that David initially took responsibility for watching the boy, claiming he fell down the stairs under David's care, and that James asked the boy's mother to tell authorities the same thing, saying that he could not go to jail. Prosecutors charged James Vanderleest with reckless homicide, saying the boy's injuries were severe. In court today, David's attorney asking for bond modification. That motion was reserved for his next court date, which is happening on July 22nd.